Hi, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to use Muvslide API in order to make a VR controller similar to the one you see in Muvslide web page. Muvslide is a tool for allowing you to send the input from your smartphone to your applications. So it doesn't have exactly this controller already made for you. It gives you the means to make it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make this, or well, something a little more basic than this in Unity. Okay, so the project, once we complete this tutorial, the project will be something like this. I'm using Google Cardboard, and you will see here this this little well, kind of smartphone here. It just connected to my smartphone. I opened Muvslide app in my smartphone, and now it connected, and I can move my phone and rotate it and act over this little cube. Okay, and well, you can also move forward and backward, and well, once you are using this in VR, of course you will be able to rotate in the scene. Okay, and continue moving. Okay, so after you complete this tutorial, you will have something very similar to this. Okay? Okay, so I'm going to start with a brand new project. Here. So first of all, I'm going to start creating the scene. I'm going to create a plane for the floor. Let's create the smartphone first. Okay, the smartphone. I will use the size of Nexus phone, considering one here as a 1 meter. Okay, so I'm okay. Let me precise screen. So it shows. Okay, so if one is 1 meter, then this is like less than 1 centimeter and 13 centimeters here. So we have this smartphone here. Okay, so our camera is there. Let me create a material for this. Smartphone. Okay, I'll put a black color, maybe a little more metallic. Yeah, something like that. Good enough. Okay, so I will call this smartphone body. Okay, and I want to here the camera. Actually, I will put the camera closer. So the user will be standing at the edge of this plane. And well, since the smartphone will be in the user hands, we want it to be a child of the main camera. Okay, so I'm going to create a empty object here. Okay, an empty object called smartphone. And I'll put the smartphone body there. Okay, I did the child because the scales and well, maybe we will need to add some other things here. So if we put some child, I don't want the scale to affect. Now let's put the smartphone in a position so it shows up similar to first person um, first person shooter, or well, any first person game. So it shows up in the camera. So what I'm going to do is actually first uh, moving the camera a little higher so it's like uh, the user height like 1 meter and 70 centimeters. And now I will move this to the 0, 0, 0 position, and let's put the smartphone 20 centimeters to the right of the camera. Let me turn off this. 20 centimeters below the camera and 40 centimeters forward. Okay, so I have it here now. Okay, and it's relative to the user's view. Maybe it's a little higher, but it will work fine to show it up in the camera when you have the headset on. And now let's start actually using Muvslide, and I will create this plugins folder. As you may know, plugins is a special name for a folder in Unity, so you can pull DLLs here and start using those libraries in your game. So in order to start using Muvslide in your games or applications, you'll need to pull Muvslide DLL that you can get from Muvslide website and pull it here to plugins folder. Okay, so let me do that. Well, before I do that, let me just move this material to materials folder just to have this organized. Okay, so in my folder, I have this DLL and XML. The DLL is the actual API. The XML is the documentation. So when you are using the libraries in Visual Studio, you will get the pop-ups with the information about each classes and methods, etc. Okay, so I will just pull this here. And now I can use Muvslide classes in my project. So I'm going to create a script folder and add a C# script. Call it smart. Okay. So let's start working with this. Okay, so here we are. This is the smartphone script, and I'm going to start by adding the using first in the games.movslide. Okay, so I can use the Muvslide classes. And well, I'm going to need some objects from Muvslide. Where is Muvslide connection? As you can see here, this is the documentation that I was talking about. I will need a Muvslide connection. Let's call it connection. Muvslide input. Call it Muvslide input and Muvslide app config. Okay. These are some of the few classes we have. Actually, let me make this private. Some of the classes we have in Muvslide, you can find all the classes here in Muvslide webpage with reference, and you see here the class, all its methods. Okay, and it has some documentation. So actually, it's not a lot of code. So if you want, well, it looks like a lot, but it is. This is very obvious, right? And this is the three classes we added. Okay, so well, that's just for letting you know that you can check this here. But okay, um, right now what I'm going to do is first of all start a connection and send the orientation to the smartphone from the smartphone to the game. Okay, I'm going to have this incremental process. So we are going to start by creating very basic behavior, and once we have done that, we may need to refactor a few things in order to get a little more interesting things in our game. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to create my new Muvslide connection, and I will use connection start connection. Okay, this method will call will search the network for the local Wi-Fi network and find any smartphone connected to it that has the Muvslide app open. Okay, and after that we are going to just save this Muvslide input object. Muvslide connection is the entry point for using Muvslide, and from there you can get the input manager and also the config later if we need it. I don't remember if we are going to need it. Anyway, there's some very basic thing about Muvslide, that is you need to make sure you call you close the connection when you close the game, okay? Because it has some um, threads and network sockets that don't get closed automatically, okay? So in Unity you can use this on application quit to put some code that is going to be called whenever you close the game. If you don't do this, what is going to happen is that if you are playing this in the editor and then you stop the editor and try to run it again, it will hang. Okay, so with this you are getting 100% sure that that is not going to happen. Okay, and well, now we have the connection and the connection closed, and now let's just get the orientation from the smartphone and transmit it to the game. Okay, so this smartphone script, I'm going to attach it to the smartphone object I created in Unity. Okay, so um, let's code this from Muvslide input. That is the class for getting all the information from the smartphone. I'm going to call this is new motion available. Okay, this means that if the API has received any new orientation or acceleration signal, okay, from the smartphone since the last time you called this method. Okay, so if there's new motion, then let's get the orientation. Okay, Muvslide input get orientation in degrees. And well, this will return it is an array, okay, with the degrees and an array of size 3 with the degrees x, y, and z. Okay. Now I'm going to use a vector that is like translating this to Unity. Create this new vector with orientation x, orientation y, orientation z. And now that we have the orientation, we just need to send it to the smartphone. So we are going to use this because we are going to attach this to the smartphone in the Unity scene and set its local Euler angles to this vector orientation. Okay. We are using local Euler angles because Euler angles because this once you rotate the camera, if you are just using directly the Euler angles like this or like this, then yeah, the angles will not rotate with the camera. Okay, so in this way, since the smartphone is a child of the camera, by using the local Euler angles, you are going to transmit the orientation as expected. Okay, so okay, let me check I saved. Yes. So now I'm going to put this in the smartphone. Okay. As you saw, I called the connection in the start. So at this point, I need to make sure that I have the application open before I start running the game. Otherwise, the call will happen, the application won't be there, and it will just not find anything. Okay, so I just opened the application in my smartphone and I'm playing. Okay, it got connected, and you can see I can rotate the, well, this little rectangle that kind of looks very similar to my to my actual smartphone. Okay, well, without a screen. Okay, so at this point we actually have something very interesting. We have the orientation sent already and the connection, but it is not quite nice that that part about having the application open already when you are going to start playing the game. Okay, so let's make something about it. Okay, I'm going to go back to the code and I'm going to add a private float called time since signal. Okay, it basically is going to tell when was the last time we got some motion signal from the smartphone. The smartphone is going to be sending signal constantly. So by checking this, we can make a method that um, knows if the connection was close or something and try to reconnect. Okay, so I'm going to go here and put an else if time since signal plus 5. Let's say we are going to give 5 seconds to the game to connect and then retry. Then let's just put a log message trying to reconnect at time. this is not actually the local time in your machine. It's just I think the time since the game started, but it's helps for the debugging anyway. Okay, so I'm just going to call start connection again if if we haven't got a signal in 5 seconds. Okay, and then I'm going to put times in signal to time.time. Okay, and of course I need to put this here as well. Okay, because we got a signal here. So the last time this is saving the last time we got a signal. Okay, and actually we can put it here as well after we send connection. Well, we didn't get a signal, but we don't want the update method to start the connection uh, very early together with the start. Okay, the start connection method by itself, it cancels any other connection that was already there. It cleans up all the connection. So you don't need to worry too much of having it running by the time you call it again. It will cancel the connection and try to reconnect. Okay, so I think that's it for reconnecting. So well, right now it's not going to be um, very obvious for you because you are not seeing my smartphone. But anyway, you will see here in the debug line, well, in 5 seconds, trying to reconnect. Okay, so it tried already, but I didn't have the application open. So I just opened it and it got connected. Okay, so now, for example, if I close the application is in my smartphone, you see the smartphone stopped moving, but I just need to reopen it, and in 5 seconds it will connect again. Okay, so we solved that issue with the connection.